Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dr. GAB. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Prof. Anywhere I come across Professor Ladele, I do not know if she feels comfortable about it, but I like to say it because it's a big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Ladele started lecturing 41 years ago in this school. 41 years ago. Many job like a person, they talk too much. I for say 75% of us, our papa never even meet our mama at that time. Prof, it's an honor to have you here. I thank all of the sponsors who are supporting Wogefi. Congratulations, big sister. She's the real speaker. Wakawa Ganusini. So I'm just going to give some. Okay, then do this thing for me. I'm just going to talk in about 7 minutes, and I'm out of here. And then my talk will be about the importance of communication to being at your best. Where does communication come into being at your best? And I'm going to make it very short and spontaneous. But ladies and gentlemen, in line with what Dr. Riches had said, there is something I need you to note. Nobody they talk over when you reach in bus stop. If you reach your bus stop before you talk over, then go carry you pass. If you graduate before you find what you want use book do, the book feel useless. So if you do not begin to think about how to make money, I am sure making money when you leave the campus would be a whole lot difficult. Some of us do many things now. I act film, I make skits, I'm a public speaker, I'm an MC, I'm a lecturer, I'm a content creator. But that's not the gist. The gist, now say with all of these things, I never even get plenty money. So imagine say you know they do anything. You know say you don't enter big like that. So it's important that you set out early. And I like to let you know that the biggest gift you have as a young person is the grace to start early. That's the biggest gift any young person has. You don't want to tell Dr. Uni to run from here to law now. She wouldn't try it. All right? But you can do it. And that running is not just physical. Mentally, you are still agile. Socially, you can still go places. She mentioned all of the places she went as an undergraduate. She can't be going around again at this time. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, utilize this age of being a young person. And so we ask, where does communication come in? I'd like to talk briefly about the benefit of speaking right. One, it helps to build trust. When you talk to people and you are able to sustain conversation, you help them trust you. That's the first reason you have to be able to communicate well. People do not trust you when you cannot express themselves. Because in their head, they feel like they don't know what you are thinking. They don't know what you are capable of doing. Again, another benefit in speaking right is that it helps to generate rapport and win people to yourself. This is Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, where people respect nonsense said in good English than sense made in poor English. So when Shoyinka stands in front of you to say, I was flabbergasted when I saw this Flibati Gibbet. Even when an average Nigerian does not understand, there's this joy with, wallahi, but you are just naturally happy, even when you don't know what they are saying. Okay? So being able to communicate help you win people to your side. Again, it helps to build your confidence. When you are able to communicate well, it gets to a point where you tell yourself, I can face anybody. All right? So good communication builds your confidence. And finally, when you are able to communicate right, you are able to sell yourself. Because ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, we are all commodities. To the lady you want to date, you need to sell yourself. To the company you want to get contracts from, you need to sell yourself. We are all sellers. And if you cannot communicate, I tell you, you cannot sell. And so quickly, we come to how do we strengthen our communication skills. What then do you need to do to strengthen your communication skills? One, a good speaker, it may interest you, would have to be an active listener. So the first thing you do to be a good communicator is that you have to be someone who listens well. Ladies and gentlemen, have you found yourself in a situation where you are talking to someone? You are not done making your point and they are nodding their head in disagreement. And this person is just mokoniko soton. The first attitude of a modern human being is readiness to accept new ideas and try new methods. An ancient human being, if you tell an ancient farmer that there is a tractor that can help him clear his farmland in 10 minutes, he tells you no. My great-grandfathers have been using their cutlass. If you tell an ancient human being that this building can move, he will shout and say, hey, where have you seen a building moving? But if you tell a modern human being that this building can move, he simply tells you, move it, or ask you, how? So the first thing that makes you or that helps you become a good communicator is your desire to be an active listener. You cannot intervene if you do not internalize. You need to study a situation. You need to listen to people's needs. And then the next thing is, when you communicate, ladies and gentlemen, clarity is the key. Clarity is important if you want to communicate well. Clarity and conciseness. Stop talking like a book. Rather than saying the installation of the computers have been done, simply say the computers have been installed. You gain nothing from confusing people. The key in communication, ladies and gentlemen, is to kiss. The key in communication is to kiss. And what does it mean to kiss? Keep it short and simple. Keep it short and simple. If your goal is to communicate, then you do not have to bamboozle people. Keep it short and simple. The next is empathy, respect, and persuasion. You have to be a persuasive speaker if you want to sell yourself, if you want to win people to your side. There is a difference between can you help me and would you please help me? The tone matters. The choice of word matters. So if you want to sell yourself, you have to be someone who speaks with a whole lot of persuasion, with a whole lot of empathy, and of course, with respect. Again, you need the knowledge of non-verbal cues. To be a good communicator, to sell yourself appropriately, you need the knowledge of non-verbal cues. Do you know, for instance, that when you talk to people and you do not sustain eye contact, it is a sign of inferiority complex? When you cannot sustain eye contact, you are suggesting that something is fishy. You are suggesting that you cannot be trusted. When you communicate with people, look into their eyes and make your point. And you need to get something clearly, ladies and gentlemen. There is a difference between being an introvert and lacking confidence. If you do not like to talk where you should talk, you are not an introvert. You simply lack confidence and you are suffering from inferiority complex. An introvert is somebody who does not engage in small talks. Introverts are people who do not like gossips. They do not like small talks. But when you cannot talk where your voice should be heard, that's not about being an introvert. That's about lacking confidence. There is something I tell my students, and I'm going to have you all say it here. Everybody say, I am a voice, and I deserve to be heard. You're going to say that like you mean it. Say, I am a voice, and I deserve to be heard. Speak confidently. Speak confidently. Look into people's eyes. Let them know what you want to say. I am a lecturer that students do not like to come close to because I'm a bit strict. But then I like it when some students dare me and look straight into my eyes. A student walked up to me sometime last semester. I had left the class angrily because some students misbehaved. And the student came to me and said, Dr. Gab, you left a class of 80 people because 2 persons misbehaved. That was wrong. I was forced to say I am sorry to a student. But then, in being confident, respect the code of humility. There is a slight difference between being confident and being arrogant. If you tell me what you should not tell me, I'll tell you why I'm a lecturer and you are a student. So you have to be humble in as much as you have to be confident, so that you are. There is what Yoruba call omoluabi. Your confidence should not make you stretch your hand to me first. I am the older person here, you are the younger. Yoruba call it eko omoluabi. Little things count. Little things count. So your confidence should not go the way of arrogance. And my final point, especially to those of you who are not in English. Many people do not like to talk because something tells them, I know to hear English. It is only when you don't have something to say that people are exactly bothered about your English. People don't gather to listen to you because they want to determine whether you speak good English or not. So nobody is here to identify your errors when you have to talk. Talk and don't be scared. If you have a good command of the language, it's an added advantage. But if you have the content, go on to dish it out, because in the end, you are a voice and you deserve to be heard. Good afternoon, everybody.